Hello, William. Hello, Winter. I have a book I want to read you about the four seasons. You can tell this is a very old book, but I want to read it to you starting in the middle because I'll start with summer because that's what you guys know the most. And then I'll go in order of the seasons that we have here because we are now in what we call fall or autumn, when all the trees change colors and they start falling off all the trees. So let me get my glasses, and I may be a little slow, but you'll forgive me for that, won't you? Summer follows spring. The days are longer, the nights are warm. Take off your shoes. Summer is the time to go barefoot. It's warm. You get to go outside, which is the way it is for you guys all the time. You could be outside if it weren't for the smoke all day long and lie in the grass and look at the sky. Do you ever do that? Lay in the grass and look at the clouds and see what shapes the clouds make. You can see elephants, you can see cats, you can see faces. It's wonderful. In summer, you can work in the garden and you can cut vegetables and eat your vegetables. We do a lot of that around here. Everybody has their own garden and they make their own they grow their own vegetables. Now here's where we are. Then the days start getting shorter, which means it gets dark faster. Like used to be at 9 o'clock at night after you're in bed, it was still light here. And now it's dark at around 6:30 or 7. The days grow shorter and cooler, and the leaves turn to red, orange, and gold. Isn't that beautiful? That's what it's like here right now. Put on your jacket and take a walk because it's chilly, it's not warm. There are many fun things you can do with leaves. Once the leaves turn brown, because they'll be red and orange and yellow and gold for maybe 3 to 4 weeks, and then they turn brown and they fall all over the ground, and you can make piles out of them, and you can jump in the piles and roll around in the piles, and it's so much fun. I did that when I was little. You make the biggest pile of leaves you can, and you can even hide in there. The days are getting colder though, and now it's time to cut firewood. Your grandpa Brian and I used to cut firewood, and I cut firewood by myself many times, and my friend Robert cuts firewood every single day. I helped my neighbors cut firewood for the last 3 years because they're even older than I am. And then suddenly, and this is my favorite day of the year, you go outside and the snow is falling. And the very first snow of the year, these are not the words that are in here are not the words I'm telling you. I'm telling you about winter. The very first snow of the year, it is so quiet outside. And it's beautiful, and all the snowflakes fall slowly, and they're big snowflakes. You can catch them in your hand, and they land on your eyelashes, and then the ground starts to get white, and it starts to get heavy with snow. It starts to get deep. And then once it gets cold, which is usually around here about January, even around William's birthday, I would say. Yeah, it will have snowed by then, but it won't be cold enough to ice skate, we have lots and lots of ice skating rinks here. These kids are playing hockey, but it will get so cold that everything freezes solid. And the snow can be so deep that when you go outside in the morning, if you've had a really bad snowfall, you can't see your car because the snow has covered your car. And then you've got a lot of work to do. But pretty soon, the ice in the pond, and in our case, the ice on the rivers start to break up and things start to melt. And the snow starts going away. And all of a sudden, what you have is springtime. So I wonder, like, my favorite season of the year, I think, has to be fall and the first part of winter, because the trees are so beautiful. It's still warm enough to be outside. And when it snows, those first few snows, it is so beautiful and so wonderful, and it will get very thick. I want to show you something. Hold on, I'm going to come right back. It'll take me a bit because I have to walk with this cast on, but I used to have a perfect house that would have been wonderful for you guys to come visit in, but I don't have that anymore. And I had the perfect dog. This is Ruby. I loved Ruby with all my heart. And what Ruby and I would do is at night, we lived so far out that there were no lights from the streets, no lights from the cars. The sky was totally black. And we would go out and we would sit on top of a huge mound of snow and we would watch the stars together. So if you ever get to come out here in the winter, better wear warm clothes, big boots, lots of gloves, hats, and even pajamas under your clothes, because it can get to way below zero. The coldest I ever had it, your mom will remember this. It said 40 below. I don't know if that's true, but when I went out to open the door to my car, the handle to my car door just broke off because it was so cold. That's pretty darn cold. Okay, another story coming up in a minute.